Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Oddmo's Community Networks. Mike from Oddmo's Pizza and co-host Arthur of Extreme Graphics sit down with Tom of Dad's Dinners. Tom shares how a simple mission to feed his kids as a newly single father sparked a journey that turned into a growing business. From family dinners to a full-blown brand, this episode dives into the heart behind Dad's Dinners and the powerful role his children played in building it.
Welcome to Oddmo's Community Network. My name is Michael. I'm with Oddmo's Pizza. This is Arthur with Extreme Graphics. And we have a guest today. Very excited to have him here. And Arthur's going to introduce Tom.
Hey, so I'm here with two of my really good friends, my host Mike Hablet and Tom Hablet. He's a really good friend, and he has been blowing up social media with his Dad's Dinners, and he is a single dad, and he cooks live, and he's just built this huge community of people that love to cook and cook for their family. And he also has a seasoning business, but I'm gonna turn back over to Mike.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Tom Hablet, and I am the creator of Dad's Dinners Facebook group. This started November 29th, 2020.
I love how you had that specific date.
Yes,
It was
yes, because that's the day that my family's life changed. You know, and we have a huge cooking community now that is 227,000 people strong. And we cook live, here and there. We used to do it almost every night during COVID. And it's just been an amazing experience building memories with my kids and also being able to allow other people in the Facebook community share their memories as well on a nightly basis.
Yeah, that must be interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I'm sure you've heard a lot of different stories.
Oh yeah, every single person has a story.
Yeah.
And so it's been pretty incredible to
So
be
now,
able.
did you cook before, or is this something that you're like, oh goodness?
No. So this like kind of naturally happened. I became a single dad, about 7 years ago, and I had a very, very hard time figuring out a structure that actually worked because I didn't know how to be a single dad.
Yeah.
And so we would go out to eat every single day after work, and just trying to figure out a structure that worked for myself and my kids was probably one of the most difficult things I've done in my life. And I made a decision. I was sitting in Elmer's one night, and I saw the looks on my kids' faces, and they're like, again? Okay, all the waiters knew us, and it was just, I just knew right then and there, I was like, something needed to change. And I made a decision that day, and I told my kids, I was like, we need to change something. And it was really funny. It was kind of a funny story because I looked at them and I was like, okay, we're going to cook at home. And my oldest son was like, Dad, you don't know how to cook.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, we're going to figure it out. And my daughter got super excited, and she's such a bubbly, amazing young lady. And she was like, Dad, we're going to do it together. I'm going to help you. And so that's how it all started.
You know, what's amazing is how kids, for whatever reason, they just can, they can come out of the woodwork and just surprise the heck out of you.
Yeah.
And do that. I imagine that going out to eat every night was special in its own right, but I also think that gave you that buffer. Mm-hmm. And then you got to the point you're like, okay, I'm ready to tackle this right now. And let's do dinners at home. And I have a similar story, clearly. But we talked about it earlier, but that whole like, okay, what do we do? Okay, so chicken. And then by day 3, you're like, okay, we've had chicken, we've had beef, we've had pork. I'm like, what's left? But so that's evolved now. You've from where you're at, you just talked about your son all the way to where he's manufacturing his own seasoning. So
yes,
with you starting this, where you guys cooked at home, has any of your children kind of gone that route where they really enjoy the cooking and they're the ones that have taken control of that and in a way, or
absolutely, yeah. It's been mind blowing.
You're like, Dad, I need you to stop at the store and give me this, give me that, give me this.
My daughter she's a very good baker, and you know, it's really cool is getting in the kitchen and actually cooking with my kids. You know, at first they were really picky eaters, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay, well, I don't know how to cook, so how's this gonna work? You know, you're a picky eater already. Okay, my food doesn't taste very good. And so we just continued to do this every single night, but when they started to cook with me, well, the pickiness went away.
Yeah.
Because they were involved making it.
Yeah.
And we just did this consistently over and over again. And the thing is that what happened in my kitchen cooking with them, it started creating this bond that I've never experienced before. And so really, like, that's what I'm all about. Like with my movement on Facebook, it's really emphasizing the bond and the memories that are made at the kitchen table. Yeah. You know, but now my kids, they can outcook me. I'm like, oh, what are we having tonight? Oh, okay.
Well, that's
okay,
what I was wondering, because when I first started cooking, it was like, you know, I didn't realize that salt made food taste like food.
Yeah.
I had to learn that later in life. And I grew up, you know, where we didn't have salt, we didn't do too much, and like that. And so I had to learn kind of how to flavor foods and how to do those types of things. And so when you started out, I mean, I wonder how many spices you had in your cupboard versus what you have now.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly.
I think he has 3 spices in his cupboard right now. It's Tom's, his daughters, and it's going to be his son. So you have 3.
And then we also have 3 different rubs too.
Oh, okay.
So there's 6, and we're coming out with a 7th.
Good, because there are 7 days in a week, and you know.
See? Exactly.
See, I like that.
So right now I have my Dad's Dinner's original blend, and this has been a 3-year process to where it's like where we are today. Yeah. And I always tell people, great things, it takes time. You know, it takes time to really go from where you are to where you can be. And for me, it's like right now I figure sky's the limit, you know.
Well, with your momentum right now, I imagine it's probably trying to like running down a hill, you're just trying to stay upright.
Yes.
You know?
You know,
like, I can survive, here we go. You know?
Oh my goodness. And it's like, you know, between the Dad's Dinners Facebook group, that's a job in itself.
Yeah.
And then the seasoning line, people really don't know what goes into that, you know. And to be honest, I didn't either. When I took the whole thing over myself 6 months ago, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I just knew that I needed to do this for my family. Yeah. And the rewards already have been just absolutely insane.
So how many food fights have you guys been in?
Only 3. Yeah.
Because I imagine, you know, I started working with my kids and cooking and stuff like that. It was just, you know, because I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. You know, I mean, I've been in the food industry my whole life, but it's the prepared food industry. You know, it's not like Arthur. He can cook. He's a chef. You know, I mean, I don't know if you're technically a chef. Are you technically a chef?
No,
or just that talented?
No, but I had 2 restaurants, and the only reason I learned how to really cook and cook fast is because I would have employees that wouldn't show up for their shift in the kitchen. And like, I'll never forget the first time it was lunch, and lunches are always busy, and you have to do everything super, super fast because people only have an hour to eat. And I got thrown in the kitchen. The restaurant had 110 tables.
She was chef, by the way.
Well, I got thrown in the kitchen, like, here you go. And I already knew what was on my menu because I wrote the menu, but I didn't know how to put it all together. And then I learned, that's how I learned. And now, and it's almost a curse sometimes knowing how to cook, because now my family expects me to make all the meals and stuff.
And after all these years, Arthur, my kids still don't want me to cook. So consider that a blessing.
Oh, man.
Well, I'll tell you, it's so funny because I literally can go home and open the cupboards up, no plans, no nothing, and go through the freezer, and 30 minutes later I can have a complete meal for my family.
Well, see,
yes.
But my wife, she has to, if I give her a night saying you're cooking tonight, she's either getting whatever we have in the freezer that was prepackaged she can throw in the air fryer, or I have to let her know 3 or 4 days in advance so she can write a list out and plan for it. And that's why I always get stuck cooking, because we have a busy life and stuff. And Tom, he has a busy life. One of the really cool things I really admire about Tom, one of the things that he's done on his social media page is two things. One, you're always doing giveaways. And I think that's really cool. That makes people's day when somebody wins something that, not everybody wins stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And you just give these things away. I've seen Blackstones, food cooking devices, whether it be Ninja or Instapot, things like that. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, it all started out when I first started this Facebook group back in 2020. And, we'd have like our first one. This is actually kind of cool because you had the pizza joint, right?
Yeah, and I've noticed you've been posting a lot of other pizza stuff on there. Not saying anything really. I'm just telling you. But go ahead. Sorry.
So check this out. So I used to do this before the group got too big. And then it got so big that it was like, okay, this isn't working anymore. But when it was small, I remember I'd do these cook-offs, right? And so everybody would make something, and whoever posted, I'd make a post, right? And then whoever had like the best picture of whatever it was. Our first cook-off was pizza. That's why I mentioned your pizza place. So we did. I make a taco pizza that is really, really good. I gotta come over to your place and make it for you.
Well, we have because we have our all-star lineup. It's kind of a sports pizza place. Well, we have this thing called the Prospect Pizza, which means that every store, because I like all the franchisees, I like them to be able to still create their own stuff, still be an entrepreneur in a way.
Yeah.
So we have this thing called the Prospect Pizza, which is each store can kind of play and do whatever they want. And so, bring it in.
Okay, I love it.
Dude, have your kids, I'll have to teach them how to slap and throw it up in the air.
Oh my goodness, they would love that.
Yeah.
They would love that. Oh.
I want to learn that too.
Okay, we're coming over there with my kids, and we're doing the slap and throw.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I want to be
sure.
on that class because I'm pathetic at doing pizza dough.
No, we have lots of different reps come in and all. I love to bring people back to the kitchen to have fun, because really that's why you do it.
Yes.
The kind of things that you get to get involved with now. And Arthur, we've been in business for a long time. It's just like the ways you get to get out in the community and just kind of see and do things that not everybody gets a chance to see. You're kind of behind the curtain things.
Yes.
And so, I'll have you out there. We'll have a blast. I'm going to apologize now. I will harass you.
I love it.
I will badger you. You're coming into my castle, and so we'll just have a good old time. But
that's what I'm about.
That'll be
I
good.
love it.
So go ahead, keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
you.
So when we first started, we started doing these cook-offs, and hence that's when the giveaways started to happen. So it started very early on, and what I would give away first would be like kitchen cookware. So I think the first one was with the pizza cook-off. It was the taco pizza, and I make a taco pizza that's well known all over social media, and we did the event, and everybody would post their taco pizza, and whoever got the most likes on their post would win the prize. And that time it was a huge Pioneer Woman, all their dishes and cookware and everything.
Yeah.
And then someone won that, and actually the person that won it passed away during COVID to cancer, and so her name was Cassandra Presley. So I actually dedicated the taco pizza to her. So now it's called the Presley Taco Pizza.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Very sweet.
yeah, it was
Awesome.
It was a cool little tribute, to her. And this was back in 2020, but it's always stuck. And anytime I post my taco pizza, I call it the Presley Taco Pizza. And so we just continued to do that, and that's where it started with these cook-offs until the group got so big. And so now I'll go live randomly in the group. And again, like what Arthur would say, I give away Ninja pressure cookers, a lot of Instant Pots. I've probably given away, 200 Instant Pots during the time.
Can I ask you a question about that though?
Yeah.
How do you fund those giveaways?
I pay for them.
That's
I pay for them. So I believe in, the whole thing is when I first started, it's like I wasn't making money doing this. It was just from the bottom of my heart, like I want to be able to give. You know, I have a heart.
It's fun.
Yeah, I have a heart to be able to give if I can.
Yeah.
And so, from the beginning, I'm funding all of these, and I still am. And it's just been absolutely a pleasure of mine, and to be at a point to where I'm at today, to where it's all coming full circle. Like with the seasonings, like we're doing very, very well.
So with the seasoning, you jumped in on the seasonings. Tell them about your seasoning gift that you do with the upside down label.
Yeah. So again, I this seasoning thing's been in the works for about 3 years, and finally,
People don't realize how long something like that thing. People are like, I have an idea. Bam, we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah,
3
I know.
years about, you know.
Yes, and so finally, it's to a point to where it's not where it's gonna stay, because I never think that sky is the limit, you know, and I think it's just getting started now. It really is. And so what I do is I give away, like I'm having one right now. I have about 300 orders in the back of my car right now. I got to go drop off. And so what I do, and it's been awesome, is I'll send an upside down sticker bottle in someone's order randomly.
So it's like those candle contests, like
Yes, it's like Willy Wonka, the golden ticket.
Yeah, love it. Love that.
Yes, you get the golden ticket, the upside down sticker, and I've done this several times, and most of the time I'm giving away a Blackstone, but I gave away a little Ninja pizza oven a few weeks ago. Today one is actually in the mail, and this isn't an upside down sticker. This is a pre-release, real flavor, my son's seasoning. So whoever gets that bottle is getting a $250 Amazon gift card. And I felt like, you know, if they still want the Blackstone, okay, you can get it. But, you know, there's a lot of single parents in dad's dinners, and I figured back to school's coming in. You know, that Amazon gift card could actually make someone's day. You know, they're going to open that package up, and first they're going to get the very first bottle of Parker's seasoning. Nobody else has had that.
Isn't that cool? I mean,
right?
Yeah, very
you know,
cool.
we do have our hot sauce, you know, and it's well, you're gonna love this because you like the marketing side. It's called Hurts Twice.
Oh.
And so, a little bit on the spicier side of things. It's got a little giddy up to it, but you know, we're on the kitchen counter, you know, squirting into these bottles. We did like this promotion, and we had these little 2-ounce bottles and stuff. And you know, you're in the kitchen with your kids, and you're like, and your wife, like, you're squirting these little things in there, and you're capping the bottles. We did a little promotion where we put them in like a little box with a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
And then the 2-ounce cup went inside the roll of toilet paper, and then we boxed that up just for the fun of it. You know,
that
so
is awesome.
when you do those types of promotions, I love that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, God, even as I was a kid, we did a promotion when I worked. I managed a Dairy Queen, and we put a cherry inside the DQ sandwiches because we used to make those things.
Yeah.
And if you got one of those, you got a free DQ sandwich.
That is awesome.
And so I like those kinds of promotions. And you know, I mean, and your kids, I'm sure they've. What's nice is this gives them a platform to be able to kind of expand.
Oh, absolutely.
What
And
they do too.
The thing is that so when I first made the seasoning, I did it in with 2 ladies in New Mexico. You know, I had several sponsors in the beginning, and they were sponsoring me, and I was like, let's make a dad's dinner seasoning. They're like, okay, cool. But you know, they opened up a restaurant, and they were doing a lot of things, and we didn't know what was going to happen. We took a risk.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if this is going to sell or not. And within minutes, they were all sold out. Boom. And I was like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And then what happened was, it's like, I see the bigger picture of things. That's just my personality. And Arthur knows. It's I'm like, okay, I see something, and I'm like, okay, we're taking it up here. We're doing this. And
it's nice when you don't work with a ceiling. Most people have got, like, they're trying to struggle on all this stuff. And if you just take it out there and go, all right, well, whatever. You know, let's see. It, you know, I've had a lot of failures, but I've had a lot of successes. And it's like you just keep rolling.
Yeah, you know, and I really believe, like, I don't believe in playing the safe card ever. You know, it's like, if you really want to be the most successful individual in your life, you need to get out and do it. And it starts like today, not tomorrow, you know?
But the nice thing about what you're doing, though, the whole thing as a pitcher, you're still working a full-time job doing tile work.
Yep.
And now you're doing the dad's dinner, you're doing the seasoning and the other little things that you're developing along the way, and you're working right there with your kids. And
Yes.
so that's a life lesson that a lot of parents don't have the opportunity to teach their kids that type of life lesson, and you're teaching them stuff that it's a tool in their basket they're gonna be able to use the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And I really admire that. One of the other things that I remember reading online or talking to you about is there was mention about a cookbook.
Yeah.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah. I mean, so we're still, that's a long time coming.
Oh,
You know?
you never know. You never know.
Note to yourselves, like, okay, you need
Yes,
to talk to
that's
Mike
a
about
lot.
the pizza section. We got to get them in there. And
Yes.
just kidding.
But you know what? When I do come out with that, because, cookbooks, I'm telling you, that's even harder than the seasonings.
Oh, yeah.
It is harder. And so what I'm wanting to incorporate is like the whole family. My parents, because I have to give complete tribute to my parents for even any of this starting. Because when I was a kid, I remember the dinner table at their house, and they cooked every single night, and that's where most of my memories from my childhood kind of come into play, and so I was like, something's missing in my life, and then that's when I was like, okay, I got to do this for my family. And it takes me back to like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I want to be able to get like my grandma's recipes in there, my mom's. She's got these index cards, right? And my mom is 82 years old, and it's still that cursive that I can't barely even read. I'm like, Mom, can I get that recipe? And she sends me, and I'm like, oh my God, okay. Okay, what does that word say?
Because she wrote it in cursive?
She wrote cursive, old school cursive, and she was a nurse. It's like pencil.
Yeah, oh, the nursing words,
so
too.
she's got the nursing symbol stuff, abbreviations.
Oh, God.
It was pencil and with pen over the top of it, it's got, that's just too funny.
But I really, I like, and this is something that I'm going to do, but I want like a section with like my mom's stuff with her recipe card, like
so you can kind of
in it, as a tribute.
Yeah.
That'd be super cool.
Yeah, that's another real funny thing about the cookbook. My mom, how parents, they save everything and they give it to you when you're an adult. Say, hey, you remember when you made this? Well, when I was in second grade, we were doing a secret Christmas present for our moms. And the assignment was in the class they were going to make a cookbook with the family recipe, and it was, every kid had their last name. It was the Meeker favorite recipe cookbook, also a little flip book. And I didn't know how to get my mom's recipes. I couldn't find them, so trying to be really ingenious, I just cut all the labels off Campbell soup labels, and I brought them in. So there was kind of a two-part thing. So my parents went into the cupboard to get stuff out, and they noticed all these cans with no labels on them, and they didn't know what was in them. And then I presented my mom with this beautiful cookbook and all these, and it had other recipes from other people in there, from the classmates, and all these kids had like, grandma's favorite banana bread and all these really great things, and you get to mine, and it was the Meeker's favorite recipe, and it was all Campbell soup recipes. And I still have that little book, and I still
That's
have
awesome.
it.
I was hoping you do.
I know exactly where it is, and I look at it every once in a while. I see it, and it just gives me a good chuckle.
So that's a great idea with the cookbook, though. I like your approach to that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have like old lefse recipes and dumplings and things like that were passed down. I mean, you've got the old cookbook with all the stuff you're talking about, And it's funny because when they were doing that, they're not thinking about that. They're like, okay, where was that recipe again? And they got them tucked in the different places and stuff. And that just warms my heart, because I grew up around, I had aunts and uncles and stuff. We'd all be around these big tables during the big dinners and things like that. And so that's awesome that
that
your
is
kids
really
are,
good.
and your kids are getting older now where you're actually in this next kind of phase. You know, they're getting to be young adults and things like that. And so you're dealing with hormones and emotions and all kinds of
don't
stuff.
even tell me.
But what's nice though is you guys have really had,
Yeah.
right there, you got created such a good nucleus, and they really have kind of gone through some stuff, and so it's kind of neat. I think they're pretty conditioned for these next steps in their lives, which is pretty
Absolutely.
awesome. So.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
So have you got your kids going on social media yet?
Yeah, so my daughter, we and with social media, I'm pretty protective.
It's good.
Even though it's like, yes, we have this huge following. But yeah, so my daughter, she came up to me, and she's going to be 16 in August, right? And I'm like, okay. So she's got her permit, and I'm already scared. Every time I take her out driving, I think I'm going to die. And I'm like,
Every parent's nightmare.
come on, dude. And I'm like, okay. I even told her, I was like, I'm just putting you in driver's ed. I don't even want to do this. And but I continue to do it, and just like you said, it's like this new chapter. But she came up to me about a month ago, and she was like, Dad, well, I want my own page too, my own social media. And I'm like, oh boy, okay. How are we gonna do this? Because there is weirdos on the internet.
Yeah.
What?
Let's just get real.
Yeah.
So we sat down and we talked about it, and we created an account for her, and it's like almost it's a business page, right? And it's actually connected to my social media, so she gets to post on it, but I get to regulate it. So
That's good. And I also think too, though, is that from the fact that you've gone through this with her and you were very open with what you were doing. What's nice is if you just said, "Hey, just keep open communication," because it's just like sending your kids out in the world for anything. I mean, I think there's the thing that I always if I ever prayed for one thing, it was that when my kids were running to the right person at the right time, and they would. Because you can run into the wrong people all the time, and you just hope that.
Sure.
Because we're in our industry, we're between the 16 and 22-year-old age group, and feel really responsible at, trying to get them to really make the turn in so many ways. And so I just really hope that somebody came into my kids' life, some stranger that says, hey. You got to be careful, because of this or that,
Yeah.
And so, same thing with you and online and stuff. And yeah, you're opening her up to things. And so
yeah, it's been really awesome though for her, because like she's kind of like just following in my footsteps, but wanting to take the lead. Yeah. So the other
that's
day,
so nice
the other day she's like, Dad, I'm gonna cook live on my account. I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Most kids will be like, oh, I don't want to do that just because you're doing it.
Yeah. No,
It's
she's
passing
like,
on that torch.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, she's like all for it and gung ho. And overnight, when we created her page, she had like over 7,000 people just boom, join it.
So she's got 6,991 more than I have.
Oh, there.
Pretty much.
But no, that's awesome.
Yeah, and
I mean,
it's cool. It's cool because she's got her own seasoning, and again, Arthur's made all the logos, so it's a picture of her, and then what's really awesome is it's like, okay, sure. When I started this, it was really crazy because I didn't really know what I was doing. I wanted to learn how to cook so we can eat.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that needs to eat, and I'm like, okay, how am I going to get fed, and how am I going to feed them?
Yeah.
And so that's what it was really about. But it's been crazy over the years. Like I've had their teachers come up to me at school. They're like, "Do you know what you're doing?" I'm like, "No," because now they're all following.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But they're like, "You're teaching them math because we're doing measurements. You're teaching them like public speaking because we're doing things like this podcast, but we do it in a live setting on social media. Like, there's no messing up on live. You are who you are.
Yeah.
And you're teaching them all of these different things that like what they teach in school. And I was like sitting here like, oh, okay, so this is a little bigger than just cooking. And now what's really cool is I'm teaching them the art of business.
Yeah.
You know, and so they're really excited because they're making money on their seasonings. So that's really cool is what, you know, on their seasonings, they're making a portion and it's going into accounts for them for their future. I'm not just giving them money to go and blow.
Well, the one thing that's
up.
missing, these generations that are coming up, is ambition. You know, they can teach them, you know, like in sports, you can teach them confidence, you can teach them all these different things. But the one thing that I really feel is getting lost is ambition.
Yep.
You know, because nowadays, you know, everything's relegated to so much. Where I've got kids that work, I go, you can't touch the sheeter, you can't touch the oven, you can't touch the mixer.
Yeah.
Don't even get close to the slicer. You know, and I'm like, hey, we were doing irrigation pipe, you know, when we were 12 out there, you know, all this work around tractors. I got these, you know, things like, you know, 2 wrong steps and you're going to be, you know, in trouble. And nowadays they just don't have that. And so what happens, they've kind of weeded so much of that out. And so kids get to be 18 and they're like, okay, that's it, you're an adult. And then they expect that switch to flip.
Yeah.
And so you're teaching them something that is really a lost part of this whole thing, which is ambition.
Yeah,
I think ambition
absolutely.
is so difficult because they have to see the progression. You know, they've, on your journey, they've seen all of that happen.
They've been a part of it, you know.
Yeah, and so that's really exciting that they get to take that to the next level in a way.
Yeah.
And pass you by, I'm sure, you know.
Oh, 100%.
I'm sure your dog will be like, yeah, I just want to let you know.
Yeah, I want my kids, like my vision for this dad's dinners thing, and it, you know, it's obviously it's a Facebook group, and you know, again, when I first made it, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what it was going to be. I just honestly, I was a single dad, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fun, you know, and now it's turned into something huge. And my vision is when I'm like 50 or 60, you know.
Hey, be careful there, all right?
Yeah,
Be careful, you
you're
see
treading on some. You're treading on some thin water there.
Hey, I'm getting up there. I'm getting up there. I'm going to be 42 on Sunday.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. So,
Toys R Us kids for life.
oh my goodness. But, you know, my vision is, you know, that my kids will eventually become admins of the group. And my daughter is already. And it's like, okay, then yeah, here's the torch. I'm the young man. I'll say young man. I'm not gonna say old man
Okay, there
in
you
front
go,
of
there
you
you go.
guys.
We're just seasoned. We're seasoned.
No, we're
is what
more
we are.
We're seasoned men here.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, there we go. I like it. But yeah, and then pass the torch to them and have them have fun and hopefully, what I'm doing in their lives now, they'll continue when they have kids to remember what happened these few years in their life and be like, wow, that really set some precedents in my life because, again, for me, this all started from my childhood.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was a lost thing. Like, and I really believe it is. It's a lost thing. Like, dinner as a family. I don't think a lot of people really do that in the world today, you know? And it's like, okay, well, I remember when I was growing up, it was every night, and it still sits in me today. And it's like, okay, I'm hoping and I'm praying that that's what's going to happen in my kids' lives when they're older and they have kids, and this legacy just keeps continuing.
You know, one thing that I think maybe gets lost in this is the fact that you're actually helping establish a platform for all the dads out there that are dealing with what you deal with and giving them an opportunity to understand they're not alone. And so I think even with the kids side of it and how you're dealing with those things and the progression of where that's come from too, it's also on your side as well. It's got to be interesting to kind of reflect on that, to think, wow, I didn't realize that I had that kind of an impact on somebody, because I know that's not your intent. Out of the gate, you were just trying to survive. You're like, please,
Yeah,
please.
I didn't know what I'm doing. I still don't.
And so, oh yeah, well, that's probably never gonna end.
Yeah.
Trust me, we're a little older than you are, and yeah, it never goes
More
away.
experienced.
Yeah, we just keep keep tumbling, you know.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Because Mike mentioned about the single dads and the dads cooking, what is your demographics of your followers?
Mostly women.
Okay, I already knew that answer, But I just wanted to throw that out
But I call them the 4%ers. Okay.
Only 4% dads?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
4%ers.
Hang there, if I'd have known that.
That's funny.
You know, but there's a lot of like single moms that like,
We do the same thing. Chicken, pork.
Yes.
What do we do next?
Yes,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, and I didn't know that, but I had no idea how my story would affect people.
Yeah.
And I've gotten thousands and thousands of messages from all different demographics, from the single dads, or from you know, my story is affecting every single person that's been through anything, really.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, single moms that are doing it every day. And it's like, okay, wow, when I became a single dad, I was like, these women have been doing this their kids' entire life. And I'm sitting here like, wow, this is hard now. And it's like, yeah, but they've been doing it the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to figure it out. And so, you know, so they kind of got drawn toward my story. The parents of kids that are going through things like me or whatever, so they got drawn to my story. Just every single demographic of lifestyle has, like, I've been able to touch every single person for some reason, and I don't know why. You know, I'm just who I am, and I just do what I do, and just remain genuine. You know?
That's really the key right there, is the word genuine, because, you know, it is very genuine, and I think that's what resonates with everybody, is the fact that, you know, you're coming at this from a very genuine thing. I mean, when I first met you, what did I say? The first thing I said was, it was just like, you know, I love the organic nature that you came from to do this, and your heart was in the right spot, even though your brain comes up later, you know, like, how am I going to figure this out? How am I going to do this? But your heart led the way, and it was like, I got kids, and I got to, you know, I think that moment you talk about in Elmer's, where you just kind of looked across the table and went, okay, something's got to change. In that moment, you know, I never imagined where you'd be now after that, you know.
I'm telling you.
It's like the Santa Claus where he burns the turkey and you're sitting in the Denny's. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yes. You know, it's crazy because I went through a life-changing divorce, and this was back in 2018. And Arthur witnessed the whole thing, and you know, it was some like Dateline soap opera hard stuff, and you know, it was one of the hardest things I've gone through in my life, trying to overcome all of that. And people were in my corner, like Arthur and a few other people, and they would tell me, dude, your life is just beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And I was looking at them, I'm like, and I'm going through the fire at the time. I'm like, what are you talking about?
You've been gutted.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm like, no, it's not. Everything is wrong. And then if you told me back then that my life would be where it is now, I probably would tell you that you were crazy. Yeah. Like,
I don't know how you're figuring this out.
A cooking group. You're like a chef now that has seasonings, and
you're looking at the future going, try my real seasoning. You're like, who is that guy?
No, it's you know, and just the financial aspects of all of this. Everything has come in like tenfold now, and you know, so I am truly. It really. I look back every single day. I wake up, and I remember where I came from.
Yeah.
You know, and that keeps me humble because, you know, I had nothing. I had to start from nothing again, and to where it's at now, it's just, I just feel very, very, very blessed. You know.
Yeah.
It's really fun to follow you too. I follow you on your personal page too, which has a lot of followings, and the fun thing about it is, like, you just never know what Tom's going to post live or today. And you post some of the funniest things. Like, some people are just so natural at posting things. Like, they just make something out of nothing. when they post it, and you are brilliant at everything. From I remember a post that he did on the seasoning, where you're at a grocery store and you took out one of the other seasonings and you put on there. Look what's in the stores now, and I'm like, who would have ever thought about doing that?
That is so funny, because we just talked with Matt from Hitch Sauces, and it's the same kind of thing. It's like when we were doing the Hertz thing, I took him into Winco, and because shelf space, and I thought, how would they look? That's funny though.
It's just those funny things that he, and every post that he makes, you never post anything negative. Like, you post the real Tom on there.
Yes.
If you're struggling with something in life, you post it.
Yep.
But it's the real raw Tom that you see, and you don't see people. A lot of people put they put stuff out there, but it's always so negative. And that's the great thing about watching you, and that's what all your followers see, is they see the raw Tom. Like, he's going through a relationship issue, or he's going through this or going through that, and you are posting that raw, but you're doing it in a, this is me, this isn't a bashing, this isn't a negative thing, this is what I'm going through. And the responses I see that you get, that you have so many people that care about you, and so many people are chiming in, like helping you out and stuff like that. And I love that. And you always keep it positive.
Here's the thing, when you use a platform in any way, it could be social media, it could be anything in life, even in your business. We're sitting in a business here, and it's like, how do you want to carry yourself? And what kind of energy do you want to put out in the world? And the world is honestly a very negative place. And you know what I mean? And it's like, for me, first of all, I've gone through a lot of negative things, obviously, which I believe every individual has in their life. That's how life is. Life is this. And I'm like, oh, when is that going to level out? It doesn't, in my experience. And it's like, when I wake up every day, it's like, okay, what kind of person do I want to be today? Whether you're going through the fire, or your life is really peaceful right now, you can still be that positive person and always look at your glass like half full. How can I even overflow it? And that's what I've been doing, no matter what. So all my platforms, like with Dad's Dinners, my personal page, my business stuff, I just have made a commitment just to always keep it positive. And I'll tell you what, it's hard in Dad's Dinners because there's close to 250,000 people. So I have 20 people that run the group. They monitor every single post. They approve everything. It's full-time job. And we just made a commitment, like, this is going to be the most positive place on social media. So people feel safe and secure. And it's uplifting. And it doesn't matter what you're going through, you can still have a positive outcome no matter what. And that's what I preach every single day.
Good. I see it 100%.
Well, thank you.
All the time. All the time.
Well, I'm sure you've had to learn how to navigate different things too, because this is a very fluid situation in so many ways, and your life changes every day too. And I'm sure it must be weird to feel like you're somewhat under a microscope, but at the same time, you still are you still got to be yourself. And that's got to be interesting.
I think any entrepreneur, Mike, is like that. They're under a microscope. I know you are.
Especially now.
Especially now.
Exactly.
Because everybody's always watching, what you do and stuff like that. And being an entrepreneur is the hardest job there is in the world. Because you have so many things that you have to watch, and people are watching you and watching what you do and stuff like that. And as long as you're always doing the right thing all the time, that itself is going to influence people too, because people are going to admire that.
Well, I really think it's just keeping an open mind, one, and two, and never hesitating, like, opportunities. It's like, what the heck? Why not? People say, what do you think about doing this? It's like, I love to just try new stuff, figure out new stuff. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so it may not work. All right, scratch it, start again.
Yes, that's been my experience too. Like with Dad's dinners, I've gone through so many things that did not work, and I just kept trying and trying and trying.
Yeah.
And finally, it's like, okay, well, now this seasoning line is working for some weird reason, and now I'm just running with it. I'm like, okay, I see this working now. Okay, let's just keep going.
You're creating opportunities for your children. I mean, really, if these things are taking off for you and your family, what's nice is you're put in a position where, like, you're almost getting to be a celebrity, and then you can use that as a way to give advantage to your kids, to give them opportunities that it's not easy nowadays.
No, and
it's just not.
A lot of people don't have those opportunities. So I'm a person that when I see something, I grab it and then I try to expand.
Yep.
You know.
Well, you just got to enjoy
Absolutely.
it. I think that's the thing. It's just part of the journey.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy the heck out of it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that you have to jump in and, I mean, if you fail, you fail, but it's a learning experience. Yeah. And that's something that you've done really well with what you're doing. So.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us on Oddmost Community Network, and I'm supposed to do the like and share and subscribe. Do we have subscribe?
Yes, on YouTube.
There we go. Look at that.
Subscribe,
How
guys.
fancy.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Oddmost Community Networks. Be sure to join us next week as we welcome Crystal Meeker of Healing from the Heart. Through energy healing, intuitive coaching, and deep soul work, Crystal helps clients break free from generational patterns, clear trauma from the body, and fully align with their highest self. You won't want to miss this empowering conversation.